number off the wall that Heather Dillard played so well in the top of the 7th to keep her to only a single. There's a slow roller to third. Watterson steps on the bag. The throw over to first is not in time, but Stevens reaches on the fielder's choice, but that's a nice play by Watterson to get the force at third. And now there's 2 outs, still runners at first and second.
Yeah, that's one thing we did well last night. We played smart defense. We'd go ahead, cut down the lead runners. And Corey, surprisingly, I mean, she made that run back and then still made it a close throw at first. Yeah. And that just shows how strong that arm is.
This pitch is high. Oh, they're going to call it. It's under the letters. A strike to Lindsey Beard. Beard went 1 for 3 last night with a walk and a run scored. Rick Leathers, who runs the show at Rick's Barbecue in Fulton. His Rick's Pick the Click. That pitch is just outside. Will be the former Itawamba AHS standout, our shortstop, Haley Moore. Adam, I'll get your Rick's Pick the Click, brought to you by Rick's Barbecue in Fulton. This pitch is high.
Just outside.
Just outside as well. 3-1 the count. Who's going to have a big game today for the Lady Indians?
Well, Will, you know how I am. If we win one and I pick them again. Heather Dillard. It's going to be my Rick's Pick the Click today.
I like that. Here's the pitch. Hawkins, this one's fouled straight back, and now there's 2 strikes on Beard. Well, last night I went with Hannah Johnson. I can't come back with that one. I can't be Adam Gore Jr. on that one. I'm going to go with the pitching theme, though. Montana Hawkins will be my Rick's Pick the Click, the pride of Sulligent, Alabama. Here's the 2-2, and then another foul ball. And we'll do it again with 2 outs, runners at first and second, and a scoreless top of the first.
Yeah, good drop ball that time. Really fell off the table right when it got to the plate, and the batter doing a good job of finding the piece of it and fouling it off.
Hawkins starting the day, 12-4. And there's a grounder to short. Moore's throw in time to Carver to get the force at second on Stevens. And that takes care of the Lady Warriors here in the top of the first. No runs hit. There was 1 error, and 2 were left. Put a donut on the scoreboard. Brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. We go to the bottom of the first. No score between East Central and ICC.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
WAFM, Amory, Aberdeen.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between 11th ranked ICC and East Central. It's game 2, this opening round best of 3 series.
For the Lady Indians.
Leading off here in the bottom of the first will be Haley Moore, the shortstop. It'll be Moore, Carver, and Watterson. And if any of those reach base, we'll see Kara Hopper here in the bottom of the first. No score. East Central had a couple runners left on base in the top half of the frame, and showing bunt and fouling it straight back was Moore.
Yeah, Haley had that big triple to lead the game off, and man, after getting that 3 up, 3 down inning out of Hannah in the top half of the inning, that triple followed up by Haley really set the tone for the Lady Indians early.
It really did, and let's see if she can do the same here in the bottom of the first in game 2. And there's a smash, so knocked down by Stevens at third and fires over to first. And that takes care of Haley Moore. That's a big-time play there by Stevens because Moore hit it on the nose.
Yeah, and she was just in the way. That's all that was. And luckily she was able to get her glove in front of her, because if that would have hit her, that was a hard-hit ball. And we probably had an injury timeout right now.
I don't think there's any question. So Haley Moore has to be retired. She had, starting the day, 65 hits on the year, which is in the top 30 in the country in that category. But here's Kat Carver. And Carver sends one into left field, and it's going to go foul. Nice run and attempt by the left fielder, Turner. She couldn't quite catch up to that one. 1-1 the count with one out here in the bottom of the first. Good to see David Wheeler, the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal, in the house. We'll look for his coverage tomorrow morning in the Daily Journal. Hopefully he'll be talking about ICC advancing to the state tournament. There's a bouncer off the glove of the pitcher, Wilson, and it trickles into left field, so a base hit by Carver. Hit it hard. And here's Corey Watterson, the third baseman.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of David next season, as well as his son has signed to play baseball at ICC next season. So picking up a really good Tupelo product.
Yeah, he's had a terrific year. 341 batting average starting the day. Ty Wheeler. And he'll be second best at 341 batting average on the Golden Wave. There's a strike. 0-1 the count to Watterson. Corey last night 0 for 2 with a walk. Watterson, top 10 in the country with 20 doubles. That pitch is inside.
And she's another one of those that they don't intentionally walk her, but they don't really give her anything over the plate. It's always inside, outside, inside, outside. Going to force her to either go with the pitch or try to fight one off.
She's 18th in the nation with her 11 home runs. Top 20 in the nation in RBIs. There's a fly ball to left field, and forget it, folks. It is way on out of here. And Corey Watterson has given ICC an early 2-0 lead.
Well, Will, we may need to talk about how many home runs everybody's hit, because that was right on the money. And, man, Corey ripped that one. There was no doubt when she touched it.
So it's Goosebump City here early on for ICC. The 2-run homer by Watterson, and that was one of those no-doubters as the left fielder, Turner, she made one step toward the wall, and she said, there's no sense running after this one.
Yeah, she just started waving at it.
And so with 2-0 now to score, Watterson now with her 12th home run. She now has driven in 54. And we'll also add to those total bases that started the weekend, 14th in the country with 121. Hopper, who is celebrating a birthday today, falling behind 0-1 the count. Hopper, one hopper, two, the shortstop Beard. And that takes care of Kara for the second out here in the bottom of the first, with ICC leading 2-0.
For Lady Indians, number 22, Emily Henderson.
Well, this is somebody else coming to the plate right now, Will. It's got a lot of power in her bat, and you got to figure after that one home run, she'd like to see if she can't outdo Corey on the distance there.
And the wind is actually blowing toward the right field line, so there was no wind that aided that smash by Watterson. That first pitch in the dirt to Henderson. Emily last night went 1 for 3. She had a base hit in the first inning, and this one's popped straight up the elevator shaft. Calling for it is Holzenbach, and the catcher in foul territory makes the catch, and that takes care of the Lady Indians. But ICC scores 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blast, a 2-run shot by Corey Watterson. There were no errors, and no one was left. We've played an inning, and ICC leads East Central 2-0.
Hi folks, Barrett Clark with Larry Clark Chevrolet in Amory. It's Truck Month at Mr. Truck. Buy a new 2014 Chevrolet Silverado or GMC Sierra for supplier pricing. That includes 2 years of certified maintenance and warranty for life. That's right, a powertrain warranty for as long as you own it. Do your shopping online with MrTruck.com. From my family to yours, and from all of us at Larry Clark Chevrolet, thank you for your support. All rebates assigned dealers. See dealer for details. Lifetime warranty for vehicles 5 years or newer, less than 80,000 miles. Cadillacs excluded. It's easy in Amory.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, Davis Ford, Coke, First American National Bank, Itawamba Community College, and Auto, Air, and Electric.
Alongside Adam Gore, I'm Will Kohlmeyer as we go to the second inning. East Central coming to the plate. ICC leads it 2-0. We do have our first Trustmark Bank scoreboard update of the afternoon. The top of the 5th over at Northwest. The Lady Rangers lead Pearl River 3-2. Last night, Pearl River took game 1 5-1. That first pitch from Hawkins is a strike called. Montana will face the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters. That's Holzenbach now and McBroom. There's a smash down the left field line, but foul.
It will. A couple more Trustmark Bank scoreboard updates in softball playoffs. Jones leading Northeast 2-0, and Gulf Coast leading East Mississippi 4-1. Those both early in the game.
All right, so we'll be keeping track of these other series around the state. Don't forget, if ICC can win today, we'll be hosting the 4-team double elimination state tournament next Friday and Saturday. This one's fouled out of play by Holzenbach. Last night, Caroline had a nice game. She went 2 for 3, drove in a run. In fact, she drove in the first run in the second inning. Maggie Caldwell almost took one for the team that time. Had him a smash down the right field line. She got that leg out of there just in time.
Maggie, former softball player, and her daughter's playing softball now, so she's probably been in the yard a little bit with her daughter, trying to help her out. So she's got some moves over there.
Well, in case Dr. Bunch is listening, the camera is fine. The fly ball in the center field. Nice job by Dillard. She had to go down to her knees to take care of Holzenbach. Now I'm just playing. Of course, we're concerned to make sure Maggie's okay, and she was fine. Like you said, showed some of that former softball quickness. So with 1 out, here is Anna Catherine now with McBroom on deck. Last night, Anna Catherine led off for East Central, went 0 for 4. A strikeout, a pop-up, and then she was actually reached on fielder's choices. McBroom is on deck, as I mentioned. There's 1 out here in the top of the second. ICC leads it 2-0. Took a little something off of that one. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count to Anna Catherine. East Central, very potent offensive squad. 16th in the country starting this weekend with 326 runs. That pitch a little low outside. 1-2 the count with 1 out. There's a smash past the diving Watterson at third. And hustling over there, our left fielder, Elder, and not allowing now to take second. So a 1-out base hit down the left field line.
Yeah, and that was hit perfect that time because a foot to the right is an out. Foot to the left is a foul ball.
Hit it in the right place, no question about that. And so here's McBroom, the designated player. She was also the DP last night. Went 0 for 3, a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out against Hannah Johnson. There's an 0-1 the count now to McBroom. Hits number 8 once again in that East Central lineup. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. We talked about East Central's offensive power. ICC started this weekend 11th in the country with 360 runs scored on the year. Last night winning 4-2 in game 1 were the Lady Indians. Their 36th win of the year. Pitch is low. The runner at first is now McBroom at the plate with Hopkins on deck. That pitch from Hawkins just low. 2-1 the count. It's 2-0 in the top of the second in favor of ICC. The 11th ranked Lady Indians got the 2-run homer by Watterson in the bottom of the first. This one's popped up and it falls foul. Watterson and Bonner giving chase up against the screen. Just couldn't quite get there in time. ICC starting the day 36-10. Those 36 wins, a school record. They finished 21-3, which was the second best mark ever in North Division play. There's a soft liner into right field. That little flare falls just in front of Hopper. So McBroom kind of almost like a check swing.
Yeah, but say one of those little excuse me hits that time. She just put the bat out there, and it just happened to carry enough so the second baseman couldn't get to it, and Hopper ran as hard as she could to get there and tried to make the diving effort, but a good job keeping the ball in front of her so it couldn't turn into more.
Here's KK Hopkins, the second baseman. Now, last night, ICC scored first in the bottom of the first, and in the top of the second, East Central responded with a run of their own to tie it at that time at 1 apiece. East Central trying to do the same here in the top of the second in game 2. There's a strike called to Hopkins. One of those slap hitters from the left side. She was 1 for 3 last night. Reached on an air, got a base hit, and then grounded back to Hannah Johnson. And there's a slap into right field, a base hit. The throw to the plate was high, but nice job by Montana Hawkins backing up Bonner, and that keeps the bases loaded.
Yeah, good job that time by Mohawk, as you said, just getting where you had to. You're supposed to be there. If not, that ball gets away and a run score. So now bases loaded with 1 out here in this situation. So the Lady Indians have got to be careful. As East Central, we talked about, they can swing a hot bat whenever they want to. And right now they're getting it going.
They sure are. Andy Kirk is out to talk to his infield. Gives us a great chance to remind all of you that 1 week from today, area cyclists will have the opportunity to participate in the ICC Foundation Riding the Tanglefoot Trail. Registration begins at 7:30, and the ride at 8 o'clock in Pontotoc, where cyclists will start and end. The event is a fundraiser for scholarship funds for the students here at ICC. No entry fee, but riders who participate should solicit sponsors to make pledges for each mile they ride. If you need some more information, you can go to the ICC website. You actually can download an application, or you can register online at racesonline.com. You can call Jim Ingram Monday morning. Jim will be happy to talk to you at 862-8047 if you have any more questions. That's an ICC Spotlight brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. Hawkins' first pitch to Mallory Turner. Just barely missed that one.
Yeah, she was wanting to attack low with the slap hitter in this situation, see if she couldn't get a ground ball right back to her, and see if they can't get the force out at home.
They're in at the corners, and there's a slap. Oh, what a play by Watterson. She'll flip to third in time to get the force at third.
Wow.
It will score a run, as now will score. Turner reaches on the fielder's choice, but I'm telling you what, there is not a better play that you'll see all season long by Corey Watterson.
And that's why she's heading to Delta State. Wow, what a play. And that's really the only best way you can describe it. Ranging over, makes the diving play, grabs the ball, because if not, it gets past her, has the wherewithal to look at home, knew she didn't have anything there, and quickly tossed to Moore covering at third from short.
And she's doing all of this laying on the ground. I mean, just a big-time play. Turner gets an RBI on that, on the fielder's choice. Now scores, makes it 2-1, but there's now 2 outs. Runners at first and second, and a fly ball into short right field. Coming on is Hopper, and that takes care of Morgan Porter and the Lady Warriors here in the second. But East Central gets a run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left. We go to the bottom of the second, and ICC leads East Central 2-1.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org. ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton as we head to the bottom of the second. ICC leads at 2-1. I see some former Lady Indian standouts in attendance here today.
We do. Just talked about it. We just recognized them over the PA system. Chelsea Lukens, who was All-State, All-Region pitcher for us. I believe she's the all-time wins leader of the program. Then All-State catcher, Anna Holly. And then, of course, our all-world manager from the last 2 seasons, Jessica Ganger. I'll tell you, Ganger, man, she helped me out more than I could ever say with her just being the manager over the past 2 years. And I really missed her. I'm going to be honest with you.
How about that? That's nice that we're able to recognize those former Lady Indians. Here in the bottom of the second, the red and blue will send the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters. That's Ashley Langford, Rachel Elder, and Autumn Bonner. 1-1 the count to Langford. She hit a towering home run last night in the bottom of the 6th that proved to be just crucial. Gave ICC a little wiggle room going in the top of the 7th, leading 4-1. There's a one-hopper to third. Stevens' throw to Buckley in time for the first out as Langford is retired. She's now 1 for 4 on the weekend.
Yeah, I thought that one might have sailed on the third baseman that time because it had a big loop, like a arching throw to first. So tough break that time. Thought we was going to steal one on the air.
Here's Elder. Last night, Rachel reached base all 3 times. In fact, she was the only player for either team to accomplish that. She walked twice and also had a base hit. She also scored a run. And there's a strike called. 0-1 the count. Elder from East Union High School. Starting the weekend hitting at .330. 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. That pitch is low and inside. 1-1 the count with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Reaching base all 3 times helped that on-base percentage on the year to now hit .430 for Elder. That pitch is a strike called.
Yeah, home plate umpire has a little delay, so we kind of have to wait on him for a second.
1-2 the count to Elder. Her slugging percentage is an even .500 on the year. Not bad for your number 7 hitter in the lineup. And this one's fouled out of play down the right field line over the bullpen area. 1-2 the count to Elder with Bonner on deck. Dillard in the hole if Elder or Bonner can reach base. Showing bunt, now pulls the trigger back and pops it up near the bag at second, and the shortstop Beard makes the catch on the second base side of the bag. And Elder is retired for the first time this weekend, and there's now 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get enough of it. Thought she might have had enough of it to sort of get over into the outfield and sort of sneak in a base hit.
Here's Autumn Bonner, who last night went 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Catching again today, and that pitch is low. You had a chance to have lunch with her yesterday. I bet she was just a little bit on the excited side.
She was. She's very excited for this tournament. Jim Ingram and I actually had lunch with her, and it's just been that feeling on campus the past 2 or 3 days. Just a lot of excitement for this game coming up for the ladies, and especially today when they know they're just 1 win away from advancing to the tournament play.
That's exactly right, and hosting the 4-team state tournament. That pitch is a strike call.
2-1 is the count.
2-1 the count now to Bonner with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Lady Indians lead it 2-1. There's a line drive right back to Wilson, and that takes care of Bonner and the Lady Indians. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the third, and ICC leads East Central in game 2 of this best of 3, 2-1.
You love us in print, you'll love us online. Being a Daily Journal subscriber sets you apart from the rest. Not only do you enjoy the knowledge, power, and connection that comes from having the Daily Journal delivered to your home, you can also enjoy unlimited access to our website, djournal.com, 24/7. Be sure to visit djournal.com/total access. Click Activate Now and claim your free unlimited access today. If you're not a home delivery subscriber, check out our web-only subscription options beginning as low as $6 a month.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, the Baptist Student Union, Family Pharmacy of Fulton, Subway, JUCOweekly.org, and First National Bank in Pontotoc.
To the top of the third we go. ICC leads game 2 of this opening round best-of-3 series 2-1 after winning last night 4-2. Tell you what, the ICC tennis teams are doing well, aren't they, Adam, down on the coast?
They are. We had 2 women players win the number 1, number 2 singles, Kristen Ely and Taylor Patterson. And then the guys swept their way through singles play, every one of them, 1 through 6, winning the I guess MACJC Region 23 tournaments as they combine the tournaments this season.
That's right. So that really, talk about some points being gathered as the Lady Indians tennis team trying to win their 4th straight state championship. And ICC, after winning 3 in a row, they finished 2nd last year. They're going to try to get their 4th state title in 5 years. That's a Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. Here in the top of the 3rd inning will be the dangerous Ty Buckley to start things off against Montana Hawkins. It'll be Buckley, Stevens, and Beard, the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters.
That was a good-looking pitch right there that went right across the letters of Buckley's chest that time, and right below it, I guess you can say, and called a ball.
That one is low. 3-0 the count to Buckley, who walked her first time up. Last night, Buckley walked twice. She now has 39 walks on the year, which leads the nation, and now make it 40 walks as Buckley leads off the 3rd with a walk. But, of course, you get 40 walks when you hit 20 home runs and you drive in 66 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's not a bad strategy by Coach Kirk. He said, we're going to force somebody else to beat us this week. And, if they do, they do. But we're gonna play the odds and not let Ty Buckley do what she's done all year and pretty much beat everybody.
Here's Haley Stevens. The snap throw down to first, just barely getting back is
would have got her. It would have got her, but the ball. Kat knew she had to put a quick tag on, so she kind of lost the ball on the tag. But man, heads up play that time by the Lady Indians as they had the shift going as they're anticipating the bunt.
The old wheel play, and it just about worked. Bonner with a nice strike down to first. Stevens, 1-0 the count. Again, they're showing bunt, and another snap throw down to first. This time Buckley was ready, and she's back to first standing up. I'll tell you what, Emily Henderson is maybe 10 to 15 feet away from home plate when the pitch goes
and
across.
And still going forward.
Yes, when that ball goes across the plate.
Hey, you can see that well on Let's Go ICC, how she just creeps in there, man.
Fearless. There she comes again, and this one, and she asked where that one was located, as it's high.
She's close enough to see where the strike zone is.
She's got a pretty good eye on that. We're talking just a few feet away. 3-0 the count to Stevens. She bounced into a fielder's choice her first time up. Again showing bunt, and there's a strike called on the inside corner, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, and she didn't like that too much. She already tossed the bat, heading halfway down to first, and good job, though, by Buckley after we've thrown down a couple of times that she waited for the call instead of stepping off the bag and assuming that it was a walk.
Stevens hitting at 408 starting the weekend. It's 2-1 Itawamba here in the top of the 3rd in game 2 of this best-of-3. And there's a bunt on 3-1, and it's bunted foul, and now the count is full.
Yeah, that one was like it may have hurt a little bit as she kind of dropped the bat quickly, so she may have just got it at the very end of the bat and kind of just rattled her.
I think that might have been ball 4.
Yeah.
We caught a break there. I see Andy Lee from WTVA, so we'll see highlights tonight at 6 and 10 on WTVA of this crucial matchup. There's a fly ball hit deep to left, but it's playable. Camping under it is Elder for the first out. And a nice job of pitching there by Hawkins as she fell behind Stevens 3-0, but she worked her way back into the count and was able to coax the fly out to left by Stevens.
Absolutely. Great battle that time by Hawkins to be able to come back and get that out, and big out right there.
Here's Lindsey Beard, who bounced into a fielder's choice to end the first. Beard last night went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. That pitch is low, 1-0 the count. Buckley is at first with one out here in the top of the third. That loss last night for East Central, just their 15th of the year, 32-15 now on the year. And there's a strike called. 1-1 the count. East Central was swept on the last night of play in South Division play by Pearl River, and that's why they dropped from 2 to 4. They are 17-11. That was their finishing mark there in that very rugged South Division.
1-1 is the count.
This one's fouled straight back. Fortunate the netting is here at the ICC softball field. Otherwise, that would have been on its way into the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. 1-2 the count to the right-handed hitting shortstop, Lindsey Beard. Holzenbach is on deck, and there's a liner into right field, a base hit. Went with the pitch, didn't try to pull it, and she lines it to right. And now the Lady Warriors have runners at first and second with one out.
And this is what Andy talked about. He said they swing a good bat. He's like, they do a good job of going with pitches, taking what you give them. And that time, just a little excuse me swing, I guess you can say. Poke one out to right field. So now runners on first and second. One out. Lady Indians leading this 2-1.
And here's Holzenbach, the catcher. She flew out to center field. Dillard made a nice play her first time up. Went to her knees to make that catch out in center, did Dillard. And as a strike call, Holzenbach last night went 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Pitch is high.
Yeah, Will, we've talked about the crowd today. Look up on the hill. There's campus security and the grounds crew, and I believe that might be the illustrious Chad Case out there enjoying the game in his vehicle.
How about that? There's a line drive into left center field. It's going to drop for a base hit, and Buckley will score from second. It's cut off, and a
single,
and she goes to second on the throw. Holzenbach. Buckley scores from second. Beard goes from first to third. And now we're tied at 2 here in the third.
We're going to have a courtesy runner coming into the game here, and that is going to be number 12 checking into the contest.
So that'll be Triplett. Triplett ran for Holzenbach last night. Nikki Triplett, who has scored 19 runs on the year. So she's done a lot of pinch running for Holzenbach, but of course, when you're hitting 341 like Holzenbach and a 413 on base percentage, you're going to get your pinch running opportunities.
Most definitely.
So after ICC scores 2 in the bottom of the first on the 2-run homer by Watterson, East Central responds with a run in the second, a run here in the third, and they have ideas of not stopping there.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, we should need to step back, catch our breath, and go after it right here. It was one out in this situation. We chop these 2 down and keep this damage to a minimum.
Now at the plate, she got a base hitter last time up and scored, and she was swinging away, and she fouls it straight back, although Henderson was nearly halfway down from the bag to the home plate area. She's got a lot of courage there at first base.
They may hold her back this time after they saw she was swinging away. Nope, here she comes.
And a nice change-up. Montana Hawkins, and a strike is called. Just absolutely froze Anna Catherine now.
I'll tell you, when you got that pitch going and you can get it for a strike, that is the most difficult pitch to hit, most dangerous pitch to throw also in the game of softball.
This one's fouled straight back over our heads here in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth, and you're exactly right. Andy Kirk, though, was talking to us yesterday morning in the office, Adam, and talking about how important that changeup was going to be this weekend against these East Central sluggers.
Absolutely. You keep them off balance, keep them guessing.
1-2, fly ball, right field. Coming on is Hopper. They're going to try to score the runner from third. The throw is not in time. And so a sacrifice fly to right by now. Scores Beard from third. The pinch runner Triplett goes to third, and that sacrifice fly brought to you by the Baptist Student Union. And, of course, the BSU would like to remind all of us of the ultimate sacrifice made on our behalf. Last Sunday, of course, the Super Bowl of the Christian calendar with Easter, and of course Good Friday just a week ago yesterday. So the run now makes it 3-2 East Central, and the first pitch to Amber McBroom, the designated player, is a ball 1-0 the count.
Yeah, that was a good throw in by Hop that time. The ball just hung up enough for the runner to get home. If that lands a little bit quicker, I believe we got a double play to get out of the inning.
There's a ground ball to the right side. Carver has it, sidearms it over to Henderson, and that takes care of McBroom and East Central. But the Lady Warriors scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 was left at third. We go to the bottom of the third, and East Central with its first lead of the series, leading it 3-2.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank, with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
East Central has taken the 3-2 lead over ICC as we head to the bottom of the third. Alongside Adam Gore, I'm Will Kohlmeyer. Tina Harlow is our studio engineer again today at FM 95 Studios in Amory. The 11th ranked Lady Indians here in the bottom of the third will send the number 9 1 and 2 hitters. That's Dillard, Moore, and Carver. First pitch is high, 1-0 the count to Dillard. Heather last night had a base hit, stolen base, and a run scored. She was 1 for 2. And there's a strike called.
That was a frame job right there on that strike.
Holsenbach did a nice job of framing that one because, as you mentioned, that one looked a little outside. So here's the 1-1. That one's high to Dillard. She's the slap hitter from the left side, and she just, whether it's the pitch is a strike or not, she continues to do her whole slap-through motion as she goes toward the circle. And that one's going to catch the corner, and it's now even at 2-2.
Yes, another one that was pretty good outside.
Dillard, a freshman out of New Albany, went to Ingomar High School. Former Lady Falcon, now Lady Indian. There's a pop-up down the third base line, drifting foul. Andy Kirk, the head coach of the Lady Indians, in his third base coaching box. Cammie Roberts, the former Lady Indian standout infielder, is the first base coach. 2 strikes on Dillard. There's a slow roller to the right side. The second baseman, Hopkins, gets it over to Buckley in time to get the speedy Dillard for the first out.
And she got her by a step. I mean, Heather is quick. I mean, that's a routine play right there that they had to rush. If she takes a little bit of time to throw that over the first, she's safe.
That's an infield single. You're exactly right. You and I would be maybe halfway up the line.
I would have just went back to the dugout and like, you got me. That's all good.
Here's Haley Moore. Moore grounded out to the third baseman Stevens to lead off the bottom of the first for Itawamba. ICC trailing for the first time in the series. 3-2 here in the bottom of the third. Carver is on deck for the red and blue. Pitch is a strike called. Moore 1 for 4 last night with that triple and a run scored. Tied for 29th in the nation with those 5 triples. Just a fly ball to deep right field, right at the wall, and going up and making the catches now.
Yeah, I tell you, if we could have just got a gust of wind just a little bit behind that one, would have had a home run.
Boy, that would have been sweet. And so Moore, though, is retired after getting that triple. She's been retired 5 straight times now. And here's Kat Carver. She had a base hit her first time up and then came around to score on that 2-run smash to left by Watterson. that gave the Lady Indians at that time a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. First pitch is inside, 1-0 the count with Watterson on deck. 2 outs, nobody on. There's a fly ball down the left field line. It drops. It's going to be a 2-hopper off the wall, and Carver will have a stand-up double.
That's big. We talk about it, Will. 2-out hits come up in a big way for teams, can help an offense demoralize a defense, and that was a big hit there from the sophomore from Hernando.
Carver with her 14th double of the year. That's now second to Watterson's 20. And speaking of Corey, she's at the plate right now. She hit her 12th home run and her 53rd and 54th run batted in of the year in the first. And they're not going to pitch to her, I don't think.
I tell you what, if they throw that same type of pitch right there, she can take that thing for a ride.
This time it's a little bit farther outside.
That first one was too close for comfort for the coach. And so they're going to say, yeah, well, I mean, y'all do it to us, we're going to do it to you.
I tell you what, I still remember CeCe Austin a couple years ago against the team wearing the black and gold of Northeast. They're trying to walk her. Woo! And that one was a strike.
All right, pay attention, and you do that again now.
Wilson tried to sneak one in there, and Watterson, now she's ready. Now there's ball 4. Wilson, after that strike called, she must have had some comments were coming from the East Central dugout, and she's okay, I got it.
Yeah, well, Kara's somebody that can hit a home run too, so it's her birthday right now. It'll be a big time for her to step up big.
I like that. Nothing like a birthday present for yourself. This one's popped up. It's going to be out of play, third base side, and 0-1 the count to Hopper, who grounded out to short. Beard took care of her in the first.
Yeah, I talked to Kara earlier today, and she was upset with the way she performed yesterday at the plate. And I was like, well, you had a double big time. She's like, yeah, but I got to do more to help out this team.
She was 1 for 3 with that double. There's a liner to left, a base hit. Andy Kirk is not going to try to hold the runner, but she goes through the hold, and Carver will score from second on the base hit by the birthday girl, Kara Hopper.
Well, she talked about wanting to help out her team. She did it right there. Man, that was a rip.
And Carver scores from second, and how about
Andy? I mean,
it's
Carver's going to have a ticket waiting on her when she gets out of the game because she ran that stop sign with authority. But, hey, it worked. It worked. Andy was there begging for her to stop, but she was able to come around and score.
Wow. So that's a clutch 2-out hit by Hopper, and the birthday girl now has tied this game up at 3 in the bottom of the third. And here's Emily Henderson. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, this is somebody that's due right here. Emily's due something big.
Henderson popped up to the catcher in foul territory to end the first, and there is a strike called, evidently caught part of the inside corner, Adam.
It caught something. I don't know about the corner.
Emily last night went 1 for 3 at the plate, so she's 1 for 4 in the series. And this one's popped up as well. Left side of the infield, and making the catch is Stevens at third. But the Lady Indians tie it. After the first 2 were retired, Carver's double, walk to Watterson, and the base hit to Hopper. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 were left. We've played 3, and we're tied at 3 between ICC and East Central.
Let ICC help you find a new direction.
My name is Mac Arthur. I, like a lot of my friends, did not finish high school. I got my GED and decided that I wanted to do something with myself. So I went to Itawamba Community College and I talked to my counselor because I knew where I wanted to be, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. Affordability was one of the main reasons why I chose ICC, because the financial aid department really worked with me when it came to personal growth, professional development, and leadership. ICC was the only school for me.
Check out our website at iccms.edu.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, Davis Ford, Coke, First American National Bank, Itawamba Community College, and Auto, Air, and Electric.
We've played 3 and we're tied at 3 in game 2 of this best of 3 series in the opening round of the playoffs between nationally ranked ICC and East Central. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Montana Hawkins in the circle for ICC once again, and she'll face the number 9, 1 and 2 hitters. That's KK Hopkins, Mallory Turner, and Morgan Porter. Hopkins got a base hit her first time up. Last night, Hopkins against Hannah Johnson went 1 for 3. She also reached on an error, and there's a strike called. She hits in the number 9 spot, and just like our number 9 hitter, Heather Dillard, they both hit from the left side, both have great speed, and both slap the ball. Hawkins delivers low and outside. The Coca-Cola defensive alignment in game 2 of this best of 3 for ICC. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Elder, Dillard, and Hopper. Around the infield from third to first, Watterson, Moore, Carver, and Henderson. Behind the plate is Bonner, and in the circle is Hawkins. There's a slap down the left field line, but it slices foul. And that defensive alignment in this game brought to you by Coca-Cola, open happiness.
Well, I got a Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. Jones 8-0 over Northeast after 2. Pearl River 5-4 over Northwest after 5. And Gulf Coast leading East Mississippi after 4, 4-1.
And Jones, Pearl River, and Gulf Coast all took game 1s last night of their best of 3. ICC was the only North team to win last night in the best of 3 series. There's a fly ball to center field, and Dillard had Hopkins played perfectly in shallow center, and that's the first out here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, good job that time. As she was playing in, as she saw the ball, she hit it, and she did what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take 2 steps back, judge, and then react, and she was able to take just a couple more steps back, call the fair catch, and get the out.
There you go. Here's Mallory Turner, the leadoff hitter, the left fielder. First pitch is low and outside. Got a base hit her first time up. And had a RBI fielder's choice in the second. So she's 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Last night went 0 for 4. Turner starting the weekend tied for 11th in the nation with 9 sacrifice bunts and top 45 in the nation with 60 hits.
There's a reason why these 2 teams are 30-plus winners.
Yes. Oh, I tell you what, 2 terrific teams. Not your typical 1 versus 4 matchup. There's a strike called, 2-1 the count. In case you missed the broadcast last night, Adam, you alluded to this East Central team has been nationally ranked, and for most of the year they were second in the South to Jones County, who, by the way, the number 1 ranked team in the country. There's a ground ball to the right side, and Henderson's. She scuttled over there to the bag and just got there in front of Turner for the second out.
Yeah, and I think Emily found extra gear that time as she saw that the runner was going, and she did a good job of quickly getting that foot out there and getting on the bag just before the runner was able to get there.
That's a big play because you don't want Turner to beat that one out, because then that would give most likely Buckley an at-bat here in the 4th. She's on deck right now with nobody on, and here's Morgan Porter, and there's a strike called.
Yeah, good job that time. Took a little bit off that rise ball, and it inside found the corner of the plate, and that's what the umpire's giving us now. So that's one thing you got to know. You can attack the inside, go for the corners, and see what you can do with them.
Porter has 18 doubles on the year. That's tied for 15th in the nation. That pitch, a ball, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, just outside and trying to cross up the batters. We talked about keep them on their heels, inside, bang, hit them with something on the outside, but just outside enough for a ball.
Porter is in the top 38 in the country with 23 extra base hits. And this one's fouled straight back.
Ooh, almost got our campus security out there enjoying the shade.
Yeah, there's not many places to enjoy the shade. Another sun-splashed afternoon here in Northeast Mississippi. Another one of these Chamber of Commerce days. Sunny skies, temperatures in the low 80s. Just beautiful weather at the end of April. There's a ground ball to short. Moore's throw is high, and it airmailed Henderson, and it hit one of the...
Yeah, it hit Kelsey Kessler.
And she's down, and she's hurt.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah, Kelsey looked like she was walking back from getting warmed up that time, and the ball sailed and just caught her right in the lower part of the ribs.
And that ball went over, like I said, when it airmailed Henderson, it went over the fence. And on the play, Porter goes to second on the air by Moore. We're in the top of the fourth, and we're tied at 3 with 2 outs, and Ty Buckley coming to the plate. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to ICC Lady Indian postseason softball here on FM 95 Sports.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
WAFM, Amory, Aberdeen.
So as they continue to work on Kelsey, Buckley steps into the batter's box, and the first pitch is outside, 1-0 the count. The runner is at second, Porter on the air. The North Mississippi Medical Center Sports Medicine Program
That was
taking care of
almost a
Kelsey.
strike. Even though they're standing up outside calling the intentional walk, that pitch was right over the heart of the plate.
Hawkins, that one outside. So with first base open, Buckley looks like she's on her way to walking for the 3rd straight time here today, and her 5th time in 6 at-bats against ICC after striking out her first time up last night against Hannah Johnson.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing I'm not a pitcher, because if they're going to tell me to intentionally walk them, I'm saving 3 pitches and hitting them.
And that looks like it might be all for Montana Hawkins. Yes, we've got a Predator Pest Control pitching change as Hawkins is done. And coming in from right field will be Kara Hopper with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. We're tied at 3, and we're back in 60 seconds here on FM 95 Sports.
Introducing the new Bacon Clubhouse Sandwich at McDonald's. It's a step above ordinary sandwiches. In fact, it's about as LeBron...
In Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway. Eat fresh.
So we have our first Predator Pest Control pitching change of the series as Kara Hopper comes in from right field, and now she will replace Montana Hawkins in the circle. Adam was quick to point out that Rachel Elder went from left to right, and then coming into the ball game is the new left fielder for Itawamba. That's Lakin Schenkel, the freshman from Bruce High School. So that resets the Coca-Cola defensive alignment for ICC as Haley Stevens, the 3rd baseman, will come to the plate with 2 outs, runners at 1st and 2nd here in the top of the 4th, and we're tied at 3. First pitch by Hopper is a strike called. Hopper has been money this year, hasn't she?
She has. She's leading the nation in saves right now. Comes in a situation where the game is tied 3-3, so Montana checks out with a no decision in that case, so a chance to pick up the win.
There's a swing and a miss. Hopper making her 21st appearance, 5-1 record-wise. 48 1/3 innings, giving up just 28 hits in 48-plus innings. 11 runs, 7 of those were earned, 44 Ks, 19 walks, and a 1.01 earned run average. And that pitch from Hopper is low and outside to the right-handed hitting cleanup hitter, Haley Stevens. Stevens went 0 for 2 today against Montana Hawkins. Bounced into a fielder's choice in the first and flew out to Elder in left. That pitch is low.
Well, for those that are listening and or watching, Joy Welch just came up, and Kelsey she's fine.
Okay,
good news for that.
Yes. In case you're just joining us, Haley Moore on the ground ball by Porter earlier in this inning. Threw it high over the head of Henderson and went over the fence. And as you mentioned, Adam, Kelsey was just warming up and she was coming back in. Had no chance.
Had no chance. So she was walking by. Never saw it coming and hit her, I guess you say, lower abdomen in the ribs area.
There's strike 3 called on Stevens. And oh, what a big time for us to get our first strikeout of the afternoon. Brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue here in Fulton that was open until 1 today. Open every Saturday until 1. In the inning, no runs, no hits. There was an error and 2 were left. Throw another donut on the scoreboard for East Central in the top of the 4th. Brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're tied at 3 between ICC and East Central.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's www.JUCOweekly.org.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
We're back here in Fulton as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Will Kohlmeyer alongside Adam Gore. We're tied at 3 in Game 2 of this best of 3 after Itawamba won Game 1 last night 4-2. Wilson still in the circle for East Central, and she'll face the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Langford, Elder, and Bonner for ICC. Pitch to Langford is a strike call. Langford bounced to the third baseman Stevens to start the second.
Yeah, and Ashley, she's one of the nicer people you'll come across, and she didn't agree with that pitch, turned around and just smiled at the umpire and said, okay.
And there's a foul ball, straight back. So she's got to guard the plate now with an 0-2 count. Last night, Langford hit that home run in the bottom of the 6th to give us that extra run. And we needed that little insurance to help us finagle our way out of that top of the 7th. She's 1 for 4 in the series. There's swing and a miss on some high heat. That ball just continued to rise, and Langford is down. And so after no strikeouts for most of this game, the last 2 batters have both struck out. That's the first K of the afternoon for Wilson, brought to you by the Pit Stop Barbecue in Fulton.
And that's something that both these teams really don't do a lot of. They don't strike out a lot. They swing the bats, they hit the ball. Okay, you'll get a lot of ground out flyouts, but they got a lot of active bats.
There's a ground ball up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman Hopkins going to her right, and that takes care of Elder for the second out here in the bottom of the 4th. We talk about Pit Stop Barbecue. Don't forget they do cater.
Number 18, Autumn Bonner.
Call them at 862-2215 for all your catering needs. Doug Leslie, the owner, but his sister Melissa runs the show there at Pit Stop Barbecue located in Fulton, right across from the Student Services Building on the ICC campus. There's a fly ball into short center field, and Bonner is retired on the long running catch by Porter, and that was a very quick bottom of the 4th for ICC. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 5th, and we're tied at 3 between Itawamba and East Central.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties, the Baptist Student Union, Family Pharmacy of Fulton, Subway, JUCOweekly.org, and First National Bank in Pontotoc.
If you're following us on our award-winning athletic Twitter account, you would see that Adam just posted we are still tied 3-3 after 4 complete versus East Central as we head to the 5th inning in Game 2 of this best of 3 with ICC winning last night 4-2. And Kara Hopper, who came in to replace Montana Hawkins with 2 runners on and 2 outs in the top of the 4th, got the strikeout on Stevens, will face the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters. That's Beard, Holzenbach, and Now. Of course, Adam has also been tweeting results all week long and throughout the weekend now from our ICC tennis teams, how we're faring down on the coast, trying to add another state championship to our trophy case.
And I do apologize for the multitude of tweets today.
A lot of information to get out.
A lot.
You're the point guard. You're the point guard for ICC Athletics. You're the facilitator. You're the one that's just cranking this stuff out.
Dishing it out.
Dishing it out.
Wanting to be a post player.
2-0 the count. Taking all the way. And a strike call to Beard. She got a base hit and scored in that 2-run third, which at the time gave East Central a 3-2 lead. She bounced into a fielder's choice to end the first. Last night, Beard was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored, and there's a strike. 2-2 the count to the right-handed hitting shortstop, Lindsey Beard. This East Central team, as a squad, hitting .342. That's an impressive batting average. ICC hitting .354 this year.
As we said, both these teams, they like to swing the bat.
Wow. Those are some impressive numbers, but yet still have the pitching. ICC with a team ERA of 2.30. East Central 2.83. This is fouled down the left field line. That's as we go inside the numbers for both these squads. Each time we go inside the numbers, it's brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. We're in the top of the 5th, tied at 3. If ICC can win this Game 2, of course, there will not be a Game 3. And ICC will begin making plans, hosting next week's 4-team double elimination state tournament. There's a pop-up on the infield. Watterson right behind the circle makes the catch, and she takes care of Beard for the first out here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting close to one of the first teams to punch their ticket to the state tournament, as Jones now leading Northeast 11-1 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yep, Jones showing why that they are ranked number 2 this week. They have themselves quite a premier program. Here's the right-handed hitting catcher, Caroline Holzenbach. Had an RBI single her last time up. That one...
Said that changeup just a little too low for the umpire's liking, but that was a pretty pitch.
Holzenbach 1 for 2 with a fly out to center back in the 2nd. Last night, Caroline went 2 for 3 with a run batted in. There's a strike called. In fact, Holzenbach, like Stevens, were the only multiple hit Lady Warriors last night. ICC didn't have anybody to have multiple hits. There's a pop-up, and it's foul up against the netting. Watterson from 3rd giving chase, as was the catcher Bonner.
Well, Will, as we talked about, teams punching their ticket to the tournament play, we do have our first final and our first team to make it to the tournament play. Pearl River defeats Northwest 5-4 to sweep that series 2-0.
Okay, so Pearl River rallies to win this one after winning last night's game 5-1. So Pearl River advancing to next week's state tournament. There's a fly ball into left field, and that takes care of Holzenbach as Schenkel makes the catch. And now with 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 5th in a 3-3 tie. It's the right fielder.
Anna Catherine Now.
And now comes to the plate. She's 1 for 1 officially. Got a base hit and scored in the 2nd. Then had a sacrifice fly brought to you by the Baptist Student Union back in the 3rd. was the leadoff hitter last night, and she lines a single to center field with 2 outs on the first pitch from Hopper. And Kira, after retiring the first 3 Lady Warriors that she has faced, gives up the 2-out single to now.
Number 3.
Yeah, I think she just missed that location on that pitch as she was communicating with her catcher that time. Kind of said, that's on me. So kind of just hung that one up a little bit, and now was able to go out and be the first player for East Central to have multiple hits today.
There's a short fly ball. Oh, what a leaping grab. I thought it was going to drop into center field, and Kat Carver with a web gem as she used her entire frame to get up in the air on that one to make the catch. And that web gem brought to you by the National Guard. Always ready, always there. The National Guard. In the top of the 5th, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 was left. Throw another donut on the scoreboard for East Central in the top of the 5th, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and we're tied at 3.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
Will Kohlmeyer, Adam Gore back here in Fulton as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 3 between ICC and East Central
11, Heather Dillard.
in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. And ICC will have the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Dillard, Moore, and Carver, facing Wilson. And Dillard's first pitch is a strike call to Dillard. Heather is 0 for 1 today. Bounced out to the second baseman, Hopkins, her first time up. And there's a strike call to Dillard. Now 0-2 the count.
And the fans didn't like that one at all.
Dillard last night 1 for 2 with a run scored and a stolen base. Starting once again today in center field. There's a one-hopper to Buckley, and Buckley makes the step over to the bag to take care of Dillard for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
For the Lady Indians, number 2.
And, it's just one of those where, 2 foot to the left. She's probably rounded first and to second as quick as she is, but just couldn't quite find the hole that time on the slap bunt.
Here's Haley Moore, the shortstop. She's Rick Leathers. Rick's pick to click here again today. 0 for 2. That first pitch is low. Moore, after leading off the bottom of the 1st last night with a triple and came around to score on the Carver sac fly, has been retired 5 straight times, and that is not an easy assignment. Moore starting the weekend at hitting at .413. She hasn't had too many times during the year where she's been retired 5 straight times if you're hitting .413.
Yeah, and that's impressive for the pitching staff of East Central to be able to sort of have that notch on their belt.
1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, and we're tied at 3 between nationally ranked ICC and East Central. There's a strike called.
And that's another big thing for East Central this game, keeping her off the bases, because she leads the state in steals, so she's one of those that can get in scoring position in a hurry.
Yep, leads the state and among the national leaders with those 33 thefts this year. That pitch is low. 3-1 the count. On deck is Kat Carver. Back in the 3rd, after Dillard and Moore were retired, it was Carver that started the rally. There's a smash, but a nice backhanded play. Wilson in the circle, and she takes care of Moore. If she doesn't make that backhanded stab, that thing's headed up to the middle with a 1-out single for Moore. But instead, there's 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th, and here's Kat Carver.
Yeah, and that hit right there, if you're 5 for your last 5, gets past. But if you're 0 for your last 5, of course it finds its way in the glove.
Carver has had herself quite a series so far, including today. She's been to the plate twice. She got a base hit and scored in the 1st, then doubled and scored in the 3rd. So she has scored 2 of Itawamba's 3 runs. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and we're tied at 3. And there's a smash up the middle and another base hit. Diving for it was Beard, the shortstop. She got the tip of the glove on it, but it went ahead into center field. And by the time Porter got to it, it's a single with 2 outs, and Carver now 3 for 3.
And they're going to elect to Walker one more time here as we said, that home run she hit last time, it landed just a few minutes ago right around the greater Biloxi area. So Coach is going to come out and talk this one over, and probably going to see another walk in this situation.
Gives us an opportunity to give you a few ICC spotlights. How about, did we take your picture either today, last night, or at a recent event? Go to ICCimages.com to purchase your picture at discounted prices. That's ICCimages.com. Not just athletic events, but we're talking about Indian Idol, homecoming, anything happening on campus, community relations department. We're just about at every event. And go to ICCimages.com to purchase your picture at discounted prices. And don't forget, you can stay up to date with events college-wide here at ICC on our Twitter account. The social media specialist, Maggie Caldwell, keeps everyone up to date at Itawamba CC.
But they're going to take their chances here.
So the conversation is done, and here's Watterson at the plate with a runner at first and 2 outs, and there's a strike called.
Hey.
Catching the corner, evidently, on Watterson. She had that 2-run homer to deep left field that Adam was alluding to in the first, and then was walked intentionally in the third. That pitch is low. Carver with a nice lead at first, trying to draw a throw. 1-1 the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The red and blue of Itawamba tied with the black and gold of East Central at 3. There's a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop, does she get the foot in time? Yes, she did. Just in time to get the sliding Carver to get the force on Cat, and that takes care of ICC in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 was left. We go to the 6th, and we're tied at 3 between ICC and East Central.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
FM 95 sports coverage of ICC is sponsored by the McDonald's of Monroe, Itawamba, Chickasaw, Lee, and Pontotoc counties. Trustmark Bank, Larry Clark Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop, the National Guard, the Daily Journal, and Pison's Pizza.
We head to the 6th inning, and we're tied at 3 between 11th-ranked Itawamba and East Central in Game 2 of this best of 3, with ICC winning last night 4-2 to take a 1-0 lead in this series. Kara Hopper back in the circle here in the 6th, and Hopper, who is on deck in the bottom of the 5th. When Watterson bounced into the fielder's choice, she'll face the number 9, 1 and 2 hitters. That's Hopkins, Turner, and Porter here in the 6th.
Well, another Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. Gulf Coast sweeps East Mississippi 2-0 in the best of 3 series with a 4-2 Game 2 win this afternoon.
All right, another Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. This first pitch was a slow roller foul down the first base line by KK Hopkins. Had a base hit her first time up and then flew to the center fielder Dillard back in the 4th. So now Gulf Coast and Pearl River have both advanced to next week's state tournament. 4-team double elimination event. Hopefully, if ICC can win this series, we'll have 2 days full of some outstanding softball. 3 days? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Probably going to go 2 games on Thursday, 3 on Friday, and then the championship Saturday. That way, if they need to play a third game, if needed on Saturday.
I gotcha. Swing and a miss. So 1-2 the count to Hopkins, asking for some time for her to get set up. Here's the pitch by Hopper, a changeup, pop up into short right field. Coming on is Elder, and she retires Hopkins for the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, once again, good job by the outfield. You got to be careful in that situation because if you come up too close, you're going to get burnt. And with a speedy runner like that, you're going to get burnt in a hurry. So a good job playing that medium depth, able to come up and make the play that time was Elder, who actually switched from left to right field. So you got to get adjusted to the angles coming off the bat.
That's exactly right, and that's a good point. And here's Mallory Turner, the left fielder. First pitch to Turner is a strike called. We're tied at 3 in the top of the 6th. Porter is on deck. Turner today, 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the first. Had an RBI fielder's choice in the second, then bounced to the first baseman Henderson in the fourth. That pitch is low in the dirt. Turner leading off today. After last night, now was in the leadoff spot. Mallory Turner hit second last night, went 0 for 4. This one's fouled out of play to the left of us here in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. Don't forget, mark down the date, Friday, June 13th for the 6th annual ICC golf tournament. All the proceeds this year heading toward the ICC football program. 10 o'clock that morning is registration. The tee time for the 4-person scramble at 12:30. That's what's coming up at ICC, brought to you by our friends at First National Bank in Pontotoc. That pitch in the dirt as well.
Yeah, she had a 1-2 count on her that time, so she's going to see if she couldn't catch her, maybe trying to chase something and get a little cheap strikeout.
2-2 the count to Turner with Porter on deck. Nobody on. Change up and a base hit up the middle. Waited on that change up from Hopper, and Turner slapped it up the middle. And a 1-out base hit by Mallory Turner will bring Morgan Porter to the plate.
Morgan Porter.
With Turner on first.
Yeah, that time just couldn't quite find the ball off the bat. Could hop and basically put it where the only place you could put it in that situation to be able to get a base hit, and that was right back at the pitcher, hard enough to roll to the outfield.
So Hopper, who uses the protective gear, has a mask on in this circle. That pitch in the dirt, and that will allow the speedy Turner to go to second. That's a big, wild pitch. Now there's a runner in scoring position with only 1 out.
Yeah, the reason why Kara wears that mask is because she fouled a pitch back during, I believe, the Gadsden series. It hit her directly in the eye and finally got cleared just before the Kahoma game that nothing was broke, no damage was done. So, yeah, they've told her, if you go to bat or if you pitch, you got to have something on your face.
And smartly so, Kara wears that mask. That pitch is high to the right-handed hitting center fielder, Morgan Porter. Porter 0 for 3. Grounded out to the left side of the infield the first time up. It went off the glove of Watterson to Moore at short, who gunned her down at first. A 5.63 put out. Then flew to right, 10 the second, then reached on an air in the fourth. This one's fouled away. 2-1 the count with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. It's getting late in this game, and we're tied at 3. That pitch is low and inside.
Yeah, you got to get those pitches up. We can't afford to let the runner get any closer on another wild pitch in this situation. And granted, we do have a 1-0 lead, so we've got a little bit more room, breathing room, but we sure would like to take care of this thing in 2. But yeah, you got to keep those pitches up.
You got the nation's leader in home runs on deck with Ty Buckley. And that pitch is a strike call, and the count is full. That one caught the outside corner just above the belt.
He really loves some oddball way to get a double play here.
Yeah. I'd love to see Buckley lead off the 7th. I'm with you, partner. That pitch high, ball 4, and now runners at first and second. And the last couple of times Buckley's come to the plate, first base has been open. It's not open now. She's walked all 3 times today and has scored a run.
But you got to think in this situation, you're still going to take your chances and walk her. I mean, you much rather, walk her around, maybe give up 1 run versus giving up 3. in this situation.
And that's what Andy Kirk's going to come out and talk to his team. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We're in the top of the 6th, and we're tied at 3 between ICC and East Central.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at www.JUCOweekly.org.
We're back here in Fulton. Andy Kirk is just about back into the ICC dugout, which here at the softball complex is on the first base side. Runners at first and second. Let's see if they will pitch to Buckley. Looks like Bonner is squatting at catcher, so looks like they're going to pitch to her, but maybe not give her anything good to hit. That pitch is low.
They still got to get those pitches up.
Runners at first and second, 1 out, and Buckley with those 20 home runs, 66 runs batted in, and a .425 batting average starting the weekend at the plate. That pitch is high.
Come on. That's a strike all day.
And now you fall behind 2-0 the count. Now you got to really be careful. Do not put it in Buckley's zone. She'll be dialed in. There's a strike called. 2-1 the count. Buckley nodding. Said, okay, I'll give you that one. Good location there by Hopper.
Yeah, it just makes you nervous every time.
Gosh.
You let a pitch go whenever you know she's at the plate.
That one is strike 2. How about that location? Low, right there at the knees. Perfect location by Hopper, and the count is even at 2-2.
See if we can't come in with some inside heat, maybe jam her up, get her to foul something off, or a little dribbler to get a cheap out here.
We're tied at 3 in the top of the 6th, and there's a fly ball to right field. It's playable, and Elder will make the catch. And that's the second out here in the 6th, and you almost feel like everybody in the house needs to stand.
I would say I sort of just held my breath as soon as she swung the bat. And man, you see the power she has, because she didn't get all that one. And I mean, it just went up in the air. You're just holding your breath to hope that it just don't have enough legs to get out of the ballpark.
Yeah, she's in the top 10 in so many different categories, including a slugging percentage of over .950 this year. That started the weekend 8th best. So with 2 outs, runners at first and second, here's the cleanup hitter, Haley Stevens. Pitch is high, can't ease up now. Don't want to have a let up, as you got to get Stevens. She's 0 for 3 today. Stevens last night, though, went 2 for 3 with an RBI and had a sacrifice bunt brought to you by the Baptist Student Union. This one's fouled out of play.
Yeah, she's a gritty third baseman. I mean, she makes you earn any outs that she has. Plays extremely well in that hot corner. So, that's what you need on this level. You need somebody to just grit your way to a victory. .408
batting average on the year, starting the weekend with 4 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Change up, a little low. 2-1 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. We're tied at 3 between ICC and ECCC. Pitch is high. At riser, 3-1 the count to Stevens.
Yeah, he's kind of lost his consistency on the corners since Hopper's come in, so I guess change of pitcher, he's going to try to make her earn them again.
There's a strike call. And the count is full, and with 2 outs, that means Turner will be off with the pitch at second, Porter at first. Stevens at the plate, and Hopper delivers. Fly ball, right center field, and it's going to be a one-hopper off the wall. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and it's a 2-run, 2-out, 2-strike double by Stevens.
And Will, you hit it. We're a pitch away from either getting strike 3 or getting a fly out, and that time nothing we can do. All we can do is try to get that one in and limit it to a double.
It's almost like, and after you get Buckley, you think, oh, goodness, we're going to get out of this thing, but you just can't let up with Stevens, even though she was 0 for 3 today. There's a reason why she's in that cleanup spot, and she delivers a 2-run double to score Turner and Porter, and it's now 5-3 East Central.
Yeah, and a runner coming in this situation now, substitution, and it's number 20 coming in to run for
20, Kristen Benson.
For East Central.
That's Benson. Will pinch run. Kristen Benson. She scored 7 runs this year in pinch running performances. Here's Lindsey Beard, who is 1 for 3, the shortstop, hitting number 5 in that East Central lineup today. And that pitch is a strike called. There have not been many innings that Hopper has given up 2 in one frame. She comes in with a 1.10 earned run average. Kara Hopper giving up only 7 earned runs in 48 1/3 innings so far. And there's a pitch in the dirt. And Benson went quickly and goes to third on the wild pitch.
And good job by Bonner once again. She's had to be in the dirt a lot this inning, blocking up pitches. So great job keeping that in front of her. Made the throw down to third, didn't really have a chance, but good job of keeping that in front of her in that situation.
Pitch is high to Beard with Holzenbach on deck. Don't forget, ICC is all about social media. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, of course, Instagram, ICC Athletics. You can even get fan cred, Vine. It's an ICC Spotlight brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. That pitch is in the dirt. 3-1 the count with 2 outs to Beard. Here's the 3-1, a changeup, and that is a ball. So it should be ball 4, yes. Okay. The batter hesitated, and then I was wondering about the count. So Beard will trot down to first. So now there's runners at the corners for East Central here in the top of the 6th. And with 2 outs, here's the catcher, Holzenbach. Caroline today, 1 for 3 with a ribby. And let's just keep it at 5-3. We still have 6 outs to go with the bats ourselves.
Yeah, and we've got to get something out of the bottom half of our lineup. Everybody for East Central today has either hit or reached base in one form or the other. After our top 4 batters, we haven't had a hit. So we've got to find something out of the bottom half of our lineup.
Well, that's right. That 2-run double by Stevens just moments ago made it. Yeah, that's right. Good call, Adam, that all 9 batters for the Warriors now have reached base at least once. 2 outs, 1-0 the count to Holzenbach. 1 for 3 with that run batted in here this afternoon. That pitch is a little high. Holzenbach last night went 2 for 3 with a run batted in, so she's right at 500 for the series. 3 for 6 with a couple runs batted in. We're in the top of the 6th, 5-3 East Central, the largest lead of the weekend for the Lady Warriors. That pitch is high. Caught that inch just underneath the letters, so a strike call.
Yeah, and like I said, that delay call by the home plate umpire really confusing.
It's tough on a play-by-play guy.
He really hasn't been consistent on that outside corner, so it's hard. You have to kind of wait on him.
Pitch is in the dirt. Nice job by Bonner.
Well, it looks like we got some action, and that's going to be Montana Hawkins getting loose once again for the Lady Indians.
See, we've got a few folks bringing the headsets to the ballpark, so we appreciate them listening to our broadcast here this afternoon on FM 95 Sports. And there's ball 4 to Holzenbach, and now the bases are loaded. Of course, it's on FM95radio.com and the video streaming at LetsGoICC.com.
This is 12 coming back in to run once again, courtesy runner for the catcher.
That's Triplett.
For the Lady Warriors.
So Triplett back pinch running for Holzenbach. She's had plenty of work this weekend. Holzenbach's been on base twice in each game.
Yeah, you got to be careful right here in this situation. Young lady at the plate right now, 2 singles and a sacrifice fly. So she's had a very productive play at the plate, or day at the plate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, who led off last night, went 0 for 4, but this afternoon, as Adam mentioned, she's 2 for 2 with a run scored and a sacrifice fly. Brought to you by the BSU. There's a fly ball to deep left field, but it's hooking foul out of play. The bases are loaded, but Hopper is ahead of the count at 0-2.
Really just need to find a way to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. Trailing 5-3. Bases loaded in this situation here. You got to be careful.
If you need some more information on ICC softball or there are 9 other intercollegiate athletic programs, you can follow ICC Athletics on Twitter at LetsGoICC. There's a pop-up on the infield. Hopper is calling for it as the runner just tattooed our catcher Bonner.
I'm saying wow. You can't do that. But I guess they're going to say the ball was in play.
So now pops up to Hopper, and that takes care of the 6th. But East Central scores 2 big runs on just 2 hits. There were no errors, and 3 were left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and East Central leads ICC 5-3.
ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Trustmark Bank in Tupelo, Fulton, and Columbus. Trustmark is a Mississippi-based bank. Yes, it's a large regional bank, but managed locally by the Baptist Student Union on the Fulton campus. The BSU is the oldest, largest, and most active religious club on campus, serving ICC students since 1954.
We're back here in Fulton as we head to the bottom of the 6th. An active conversation in between that half inning as East Central leads at 5-3 up here in the press box. Chris Burrows, David Wheeler, the Journal. You, Adam, and myself were all talking about that last play where Bonner was tattooed by the...
Who was our football hit of the game sponsor?
That was the Mud Pit.
Mud Pit, there you go.
Mud Pit, the Mud Pit hit of the night. That's your, what was that? Barnyard.
Yeah,
Barnyard Mudboggers of Itawamba County, just down the access road here in Fulton.
Maybe we'll have another one right here with a couple of home runs and get these runs back.
I like that. Hopper will lead off. First pitch is low. It'll be the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Hopper, Henderson, and Langford. And then if any of those 3 reach, we'll see Rachel Elder. And if we get a couple batters coming to the reach, and then we'll see Bonner. This pitch is a strike called on the inside corner. Hopper had a big RBI single her last time up to tie the game at 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, and it stayed that way until East Central scored 2 here in the top of the 6th. And there's a tomahawk to left, and it's one Hopper off the wall, and it's going to be a stand-up double by Hopper. And Hopper absolutely smashed that one, and it almost got out of here. And that's a good start for ICC.
Very, very good start for ICC that time. And as you said, Will, I honestly thought that one was gone. And you described it perfectly. She just chopped that thing, and it was just a hiccup away from getting out of the park.
Wow. Almost made it 5-4, but Hopper leads off with a double. So she's 2 for 3 on her birthday. And here's Emily Henderson, who had a birthday yesterday. She's 0 for 2 in this one. She got a base hit her first time up last night, and then she's been retired the last 4 times. Henderson with a couple pop-ups on the infield, and that's how she was retired twice last night. 2 pop-ups on the infield. There's a strike call, and Henderson and the Lady Indian fans.
He's given that all day. I mean, you hear the fans yelling about it, but he's given that all day. So you've got to adjust his batters.
So Henderson with a couple pop-ups in the series to the catcher and 2 pop-ups to the third baseman, Stevens. She's got a base hit, and we need a hit here. And there's a ground ball to short, and the throw to first is in time. Nice job by Beard forcing Hopper to get back to second. and Henderson is retired. Hopper does not advance, so she stays at second with one out, and here's Ashley Langford, the designated player.
Yeah, as we said, Will, we're still looking for our first base hit of the day out of this bottom five, and, you know, that was a tough time because Henderson had to protect the plate after that last strike call.
Here's the right-handed hitting transfer from Mississippi Delta, Ashley Langford. And the pitch is low and outside. 1-0 the count with Elder on deck. We've got to take advantage of this leadoff double by Hopper. At least respond with one here after East Central has taken the 5-3 lead with 2 runs in the top of the 6th. There's a fly ball into left field. Drifting to her left is Turner, and she makes the catch to take care of Langford for the second out.
Yeah, that one just sort of floated out there, so an easy play out there in left field. Was hoping that might have a little bit more bite to it, maybe knife away from her and get down for them to be able to play. Trade places.
So Kendra Wilson, 5th in the nation, starting the weekend with 152 innings pitched this year. Tied for 18th in the nation with 14 wins. She took the loss last night. She also has 20 complete games this year. This first pitch is a foul out of play by Elder, who is 0 for 2. 20 complete games, which is tied for nearly in the top 5 in the country.
And she did that against us last year. She's a transfer from East Mississippi. Won one, lost one against us last year as a Lady Lion.
You got to wonder, will they go with her if this thing goes 3? And that inside and just about hit Elder. Got out of the way, did Rachel. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 the count to Rachel Elder. Elder, the sophomore from Guntown. She went to East Union High School. Nearly a straight 4.0 student in the classroom. And that pitch is a strike called. 1-2 the count to Elder with 2 outs. Hopper, who led off this inning, nearly hit one out of here. A double off the wall, is still at second. Indians trail 5-3. And Elder, ground ball into the hole, and there will not be a throw. And now they're going to try to score the runner Hopper from second.
Hopper rounded the bag, thinking it might have been an out that time, and Andy tried to catch her up, and she actually rounded too big, and so she just committed to going home that time. So just a mental mistake by the Lady Indians.
So an infield single by Elder, but then Hopper tries to score from second, and she's gunned down, and that takes care of ICC. That's a big defensive play there by East Central, brought to you by the National Guard. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 was left. We go to the 7th inning, and ICC trails in Game 2 of this best of 3, 5-3.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First American National Bank in Fulton, doing business the old-fashioned way. First American National Bank, with convenient locations all over Northeast Mississippi. By the Subways in Fulton, Tupelo, Saltillo, and Nettleton. Subway, eat fresh.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by Davis Ford in Fulton. Need a new car, van, or SUV? Give Davis Ford a call at 862-3711. By Coca-Cola, Coke, and ICC. Now that's a winning combination.
And by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop in downtown Fulton. Sweet Cheeks is open daily for breakfast and lunch and is the only place in Fulton where you can get hot, freshly made donuts.
And it looks like we're going to have a Predator Pest Control pitching change, Adam, as we go to the top of the 7th with East Central leading 5-3.
Absolutely, this is going to be Kelsey Kessler coming into the game. We talked about it. She actually was hit by throwing error earlier in the game and was down for a minute, but toughing it up and coming back out here, the sophomore from Lafayette County High School.
So Kelsey Kessler replaces Kara Hopper as ICC now. Another Predator Pest Control pitching change. In the top of the 7th, East Central will send the number 8, 9, and 1 hitters. That's McBroom, Hopkins, and Turner. This for Kessler, her 20th appearance of the year. She's 3-1. She does have a save In 30 innings pitched, she has given up 34 hits, 23 runs, 20 earned, struck out 13, 19 walks, and a 4.67 earned run average.
Well, if you look and see what Andy has done this game, he went 4 innings with Montana, 3 with Kara now, or excuse me, maybe 2 with Kara, or he spread out the pitches. So that way, if this thing does hold out the way it is, he has to go to a game 3. He can piece together his top 3 pitchers to possibly go 7 innings and try to force, or not force, but to be able to extend the season and go to the tournament play.
I agree with you on that one, and you're right. Hawkins goes 3 2/3, Hopper goes 2 1/3, and now here is Kessler in the 7th with ICC trailing 5-3. I think that's some smart coaching there. Make sure you got a little fuel left in the tank. Lady in his trail 5-3. There's a strike called. And I'll tell you what, Kessler is just amazing. I'm just glad that she was going to be okay after getting that errant, that throwing error. But then to come in here to pitch, and there's a one-hopper to Watterson at third. She throws a missile from the bag at third over to Henderson at first to get the first out here in the 7th, and that retires Amber McBroom.
Yeah, it's a big out right there. We need to keep it at 5-3. You can come out with a chance to maybe just get a couple of hits out of our bottom 2 batters and then get something going in the top part that's been hot today. So just get out of this inning with no damage done and see if we can't make something happen.
Foul out of play by Hopkins. She's 1 for 3. Andy Kirk alluded to that on our Aiken Veterinary Services postgame report last night, how important that extra run was for ICC late to give us a 3-run cushion last night. Because you're right, when you come up to the plate and you're only down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th, well, all we need is 1 base runner.
Right.
And then we've got the tying runner coming to the plate.
Yeah, I'm saying, you look at it, it's going to be Bonner. Maybe Bonner will just have a little extra fire in her belly after she got ran over on that last play to sort of take care, start us off in a good way, I guess you can say.
Slow roller to the right side. Carver has to charge and sling it from the side. And what a play there by Carver to Henderson. I mean, KK Hopkins can fly, folks, and you couldn't have done it any better than Kat Carver did right there.
Absolutely, and Kat did a great job, come up and got the glove on it, but I guess really truly just used the glove to guide it up and barehanded it and threw it across.
And still Hopkins almost beat it out. So with 2 outs, we go to the top of the order, and Mallory Turner got a base hit with 1 out, and that started that 2-run rally in the top of the 6th. That was just an inning ago. A couple wild pitches hurt the ICC cause, and there's a slow roller to right and a base hit by Turner. She now has 3 on the day. She's 3 for 5 after going 0 for 4 last night.
Man, they had tons of hits in no man land in this game. I mean, that one right there, the first baseman couldn't go get it too far away from the second baseman, and so it's just you had to concede the single that time, and hopefully can go and get this third out here.
Let's see what we can do with Morgan Porter. She walked and scored her last time up. She's 0 for 3 in this game officially with that walk and a run scored. She did reach on an error back in the 4th. Buckley is on deck. That pitch is low and outside. 2-0 the count. ICC 36-10 on the year. Winners of 18 straight. That 18-game winning streak on the line and in jeopardy here late in this one. There's a strike called. 2-1 the count with 2 outs to Porter. East Central 32-15. There's a strike as well. And so Kessler, after falling behind, gets 2 strikes back-to-back on Porter.
Yeah, great job battling back that time by Kay.
There is ball 3, so the count is full at 3-2. Last time they had a full count with 2 outs. Stevens smashes the 2-run double to score the runners from first and second. That was an inning ago. There goes the runner, and ball 4. And so now Porter trots to first. Turner is at second. And here is Ty Buckley.
Number 23, Ty Buckley.
Buckley with 20 home runs this year, 66 runs batted in. She flew out to right field last time up, Adam. after walking the first 3 times today. Last night she walked twice and went 1 for 2 with a run scored.
Yeah, looks like we're going to go at her in this situation, but once again, probably not give her anything easy to hit. Maybe an intentional walk.
I like that. See what we can do here with Kessler.
Or Kessler's going to say, I'm going to challenge you to throw it right down the middle of the plate and make Adam look like an idiot.
1-1 the count to Buckley. We have well documented her success this year. Among the top 15 in the country in so many different categories. In fact, a lot of them in the top 5 nationally with these offensive categories. That one's in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Slugging percentage over .950. First in the nation with 20 home runs. 6th in the nation with 66 runs batted in. First in the nation now with 40 walks. Smash to the left side. Haley Moore flips over to third to Watterson to get the force on Turner. And that thing was hit like a missile. Thankfully, Haley Moore got in front of it. And so Buckley bounces into the fielder's choice to take care of East Central in the top of the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 were left. Throw a donut on the scoreboard, brought to you by Sweet Cheeks Donut and Sandwich Shop here in Fulton. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We need 2 to tie, 3 to win as ICC trails 5-3.
ICC Sports on FM 95 is sponsored in part by First National Bank in Pontotoc, with locations on South Main Street in Pontotoc and on Highway 15 in North Pontotoc. First National Bank, you're important to us, and we prove it.
And by JUCO Weekly. Log on to JUCOweekly.org to view scores, stats, news, photos, and videos from around the MACJC. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's www.JUCOweekly.org. ICC Athletics on FM 95 Sports is brought to you in part by the National Guard. Always ready, always there, the National Guard. And by Pisons. Give Stan the Pizza Man a call at 862-4000.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning as ICC trails 5-3. The ICC baseball Indians over in Senatobia this afternoon, leading Northwest 1-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th. Although Northwest starting pitcher Matt Ferguson does have 7 strikeouts through 4 innings, but the Indians lead it 1-0. That's a Trustmark Bank scoreboard update. Here it's 5-3 East Central, and the first pitch to Bonner is fouled straight back. It'll be Autumn Bonner, Heather Dillard, and Haley Moore here in the bottom of the 7th for the Red and Blue of Itawamba. If we can't score 2 to at least tie it, this series of best of 3 will be knotted at 1.
Yeah, and like I said, we just got to get some out of these bottom 2 batters right here and try to get back to the top heart and the heart of our lineup.
Bonner fouls this one out of play to the left of us here in the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. Autumn, her first time up, hit an absolute BB right back up the middle, a liner that was stabbed by Wilson. Rob Bonner of a base hit, and this time it's a one-hopper to third. Stevens has it, and her throw over to first in time for the first out here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Heather Dillard, the center fielder, who is 0 for 2.
Heather Dillard.
But as we said, right now the number 9 batter, then we get back up to Haley Moore, who has been retired her last 5 at-bats. If we can just get one of them on, maybe Kat Carver, keep her day going as she's 3 for 3.
Here's Dillard, who hits from the left side, and a strike call. 0-1 the count. Don't forget, we've got a lot of concerts coming up on the ICC Fulton campus next week. They tried to bunt. There's committed. 0-2 the count. We've got the choir and chamber singers Monday night at 6:30 in the W.O. Benjamin Fine Arts Center. Then on the 29th, we got the All-American Band concert. Then on May 1st, it's the Jazz Band. This one's filed straight back. All free of charge. All at the W.O. Benjamin Fine Arts Center Auditorium on our ICC Fulton campus. That's what's coming up at ICC, brought to you by First National Bank in Pontotoc. 0-2 the count to Dillard. That's low. 1-2 the count. Dillard, the freshman out of Ingomar High School. On deck is Moore, the former Itawamba AHS star. Pitch is low.
2-2 now the count.
2-2 the count to Dillard. Can the Lady Indians rally